We'll call the meeting to order and have a roll call by the commission secretary.
Mr. Fiddler.
Here.
Mr. Overland.
Here.
Mr. Love.
Here.
Mr. Burridge.
Here.
Mr. Huckabee. Mr. Alexander.
Here.
Mr. Burgess.
Present.
Mr. Peterson.
Present.
The chair declares a quorum present to conduct business and would like to welcome John Cox. And where's John? Oh, he's way back there hiding, and Bobby Stem's back there somewhere, I'm sure. There, here he is. Thank you guys for coming. And I do want to recognize Secretary Ridley. He snuck in, and I would ask him to stand up because he has his orange tie on. He's braver. Don't sit down yet, Mr. Secretary. He's braver than the rest of you guys. There is another group that are present that should have orange on, but due to their poor betting choices, they have red on. So we are now ready for everybody that lost the bet to stand up. Now that's the shortest stand-up I've ever seen. No, we got two great teams, two great colleges, and just need to go and play two great games. It'll be a lot of fun. But anyway, Secretary Ridley, thank you. The first item will be presented by the Director, Secretary Director, Mr. Mike Patterson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Annually, the AOGC here in Oklahoma sponsors the Pharaoh Award. The Pharaoh Award is named after a very prominent and prestigious family from eastern Oklahoma, the Pharaohs, who had a construction company. Kent Pharaoh actually sat on the commission for a time. But the Pharaoh Award, as I said, is awarded annually, and this year's winner is Division 8, the Claremore Residency, for a bridge project on US 412. So if we could, Mr. Chairman, I'd like for Randall White and his team to come up and accept the award, and Commissioner Peterson, he tripped me out because he had the agenda falsified just so I would do that. Commissioner Peterson, if you could join us down here for a picture with the award. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, if I could, you know, the Pharaoh Award, we always look forward to who is going to receive it this year. And for Aaron Beats, a resident engineer, and Jennifer Bullard to, you know, just make quality projects everywhere they go in Division 8. It's a difficult competition when you look at all the projects that we put out annually for that Pharaoh Award, and for this to be selected is very notable. Thank you.
Great award, great people, and great work. Item 149 is the approval of the minutes of the Transportation Commission meeting of November the 5th, 2018. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Please vote. Motion passes. Items 150 through 153 is the consent docket. If there's a commissioner that would like to pull an item out and have it considered separately, we will do so by unanimous consent. Otherwise, we'll hear a motion.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Item 154, the programming items. Mr. Tiegler will present items A and B.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Item 154, I have two items. Part A is Love County, Commission District 7. This is to repair vehicle impact damage to I-35 northbound over State Highway 32. This is just west of Marietta. The estimated cost for the project is $20,000 using state aid funds. This project can be ready for a February 2019 letting, and the party responsible for the damage is known. Part B is Tulsa County, Commission District 8. This is to repair vehicle impact damage to US 75 southbound over State Highway 20. This is just west of Collinsville. The estimated cost of this project is $15,000 using state aid funds as well. This project can be ready for a March 2019 letting, and the party responsible for the damage is known. Approval is recommended, and I'll try to answer any questions if you have any.
Heard the recommendation of Mr. Tiegler.
Motion approved.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? We're going to vote when it comes up. Please vote. Motion passes. Mr. Tiegler, move on to item 155, the engineering contracts.
Okay, thank you. I have one engineering contract this month. It's in Oklahoma County in District 4. We've selected EST to provide engineering for this interchange at 44, State Highway 74, State Highway 66. It's an interchange operational improvement. This total not to exceed amount is $1,025,776. This project is in the 8-year construction work plan, and approval is recommended. Try to answer any questions if you have anything on this one.
Item 155 has been presented.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Thank you for voting. That item passes. Mr. Tiegler will move to item 156, engineering contract supplements.
Thank you. I have two items this month. Part A is in Canadian County in District 4. Previously, we've selected CEC Corporation to do the engineering and final design plans for I-40B. It's over the UPAC Railroad. The supplement not to exceed amount is $24,100. This project is in the 8-year construction work plan and is scheduled let date for federal fiscal year 2019. Part B is in Ottawa County. This is Commission District 8. We've previously selected Garver LLC to provide engineering and prepare final design plans for US 60 over Spring and Neosho River. This supplement not to exceed amount is $1,561,973.17. This project as well is in the 8-year construction work program and is scheduled for FY 2023. Approval is recommended. Try to answer any questions if you have any on these two items.
Thank you for that presentation, Mr. Tiegler, of item 156. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Thank you. That item passes. Thank
Thank
you, Mr. Tiegler. As Mr. Leonard's coming up, he has item 157 and 158. 157 is the change orders with a cumulative total of $75,000 or less. They're presented for information purposes only, but he'll be happy to answer any questions a commissioner has. If you have no questions, we'll move on to item 158. What's your pleasure? Any questions? Chair sees there are no questions for item 157. Mr. Leonard, you can present item 158.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'd like to present item 158, parts A through double B. These are the change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders in excess of $75,000. Your approval is recommended, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you for that presentation, Mr. Leonard. Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. Mr. Hackney's going to present the lettings, item number 159.
Mr. Commissioner, members of the commission, item 159 consists of the final February and tentative March and April of 2019. Approval is recommended.
You've heard the presentation for the lettings. What's your pleasure for this item?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve item 159.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Thank you, sir, for that presentation. We're going to move to the item 160. Mr. Hewlin's going to present the fiscal year 2019 budget revision.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Item 160 is a budget revision. It's to request a transfer of $150,000 in state funds from the Highway Administration account to the Transit Program to match federal funding associated with the Streetcar Safety Oversight Program. We request your approval.
You've heard his request to transfer the funds.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Hewlin, for that presentation. We're moving to item 161 is a highway construction contractor pre-qualification changes that Ms. Moore is going to present. Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Chairman, Commissioners, the Department is requesting approval of Agenda Item 161, which is concerning the amendments to the administrative rule under Title 730, Chapter 25, Subchapter 3, Section 1, regarding pre-qualification. As you recall, back in August at the Commission meeting, Mr. Saliba brought it to your attention that the Department was wanting to move forward with the amendment process on this specific administrative rule. During this process, the department has held a 30-day comment period with no comments received, as well as a public hearing. We had one outside attendee, which was a representative from the AOGC who was in agreement with these amendments. Upon commission approval, the department will then file these amendments with the governor and legislature and wait for further approval. At that time, if approval is given, we are looking at a June or July date where these amendments will become effective. And I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Commissioner Love.
So is this a state-driven change, or is this something that we're being directed by the feds on?
It's just, actually, the AOGC had requested us look at our pre-qualification administrative rule, which we did. And so the department came up with some different amendments, but also to make it, bring us up to qualifying standards with other states as well in regards to our process for pre-qualification.
And I'm assuming we kind of talked to benchmark with other states on,
Yes, we
How
did an
they-
AASHTO survey. A lot of them are at 1 or 2 years, and they do take a financial audit or a financial statement. And of course, we're changing from 5 years to 2. And we're also allowing for a financial review statement instead of just only an audit.
thank you.
Ms. Moore, you have anything else to add?
I don't.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Please vote. Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Moore. Mr. Dales is going to come and present item 162, which is the awards for the November 14th emergency letting and the November 15th regular letting.
Good morning, Commissioners, Mr. Chairman. Item 162 are the awards. Part A is November 14th emergency bid opening. This is an information-only item. An emergency bid opening was held on November 14th of this year for project number EMC 030N77 in the hole. At that time, a contract was awarded to Logos Construction for $541,885.74. Happy to take any questions you have about that at this time.
You can move to item B unless there are questions. Don't see any questions. You can move on.
Thank you. Item B are our recommendations for the November 15th bid opening. It is recommended that the following items from that bid opening referred to by call order be awarded. It's call orders 400, 402, 405, 420, 425, 430, 435, 440, 450, 460, 465, 470, 475, 477, 485, 487, 490, 500, 515, 520, 525, 527 with add alternate 2 only, 530, 537, 550, 557, 565, 567, 570, 575, 585, and 590. It is recommended that the following item from the November 15th bid opening referred to by call order be rejected, and that's call order 587. This includes the recommendations for award, and your approval is requested.
You've heard Mr. Dels's recommendation.
Motion approved.
We have a motion to
Second.
approve and a second. Any discussion?
I had one question or comment, really not pertaining to the bids, but just wanted to kind of put out there for you, Anthony, to 4 years ago or however long ago when we had that big drop in oil price, I didn't really see any tie-in regarding the bid prices. In other words, the asphalt went from here to here, but I didn't see that the competitive bidding went down kind of corollary to, and so we got oil going down again, and I would just kind of recommend that you keep an eye on that.
We sure will. Yes, sir.
As we do in the various committees, we discuss all these projects so the public knows. We don't just sit here and agree with Mr. Dels all the time, as all the commissioners know. And we also had that same comment for him in our prior meeting when we were reviewing these contracts, and I'm sure y'all had that discussion as staff. And appreciate your comments, Commissioner Love, and we all need to stay on our toes.
Yes, sir.
You've heard the recommendation. We've had a motion and a second, so I would ask if there's no other discussion that we vote. Hearing none. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Dales.
Thank you.
Secretary Director Patterson, item 163 is the declaration of an emergency, and then we'll move into your report. No action will be required on either one of them, but we're anxious to hear from you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I want to follow up with an agenda item or a notification I gave you last month, and you just awarded a contract, and that has to do with US 169 to northbound to westbound I-244 in Tulsa. If you recall, last month, I had declared an emergency, and my emergency authority is up to $750,000. In that emergency, we really believed that the repairs would come in for less than that. And at the time of the commission meeting, we had a bid that was in excess of $750,000. In the awards, the special award that you just made to Logos Construction, that came in significantly less than the $750,000. So we went back out for bid, got a better bid, so we're moving forward with that. So that ties up last month's emergency declaration. This month's emergency declaration, item 163, is for the I-44 bridge over State Highway 49 in Comanche County in Lawton. Commissioner Burgess tells me he's had some struggles with this thing being broken for the last few days, and so we're going to get that fixed. I want to read this into the record. The ODOT Bridge Division personnel discovered vehicle impact damage to two bridges carrying I-44 in both directions over State Highway 49 in Comanche County during a recent bridge inspection in November of 2018. The subject bridge had sustained impact damage to all 12 beam lines on the two bridges. 7 of the 12 beams had been out of alignment by the impact, and the remaining 5 beams sustained scrapes and notches that require repair. Repairs will consist primarily of flame straightening and grinding out the notches. The repair of the structure is beyond the capability of the department forces. On November 15, 2018, I declared an emergency to repair the damaged bridge in accordance with Title 61 Oklahoma Statutes, Section 130, and authority provided by the Oklahoma Administrative Code, Rule 731-5-1. Under the authority of my declaration of emergency, the department executed an emergency contract to effect the required repairs to ensure the continued safety of the bridge. The contract to make the repairs to the damaged structure was executed on November 19th of 2018 with Flame On Incorporated in the amount of $191,750, with work to begin on November 28, 2018. The emergency project is contracted for completion on December 5th, 2018. As the chairman said, no action item is needed. I will tell you that Jay Earp notified us this morning that the project will be completed today, so a couple of days early, so we're extremely happy about that. Happy to answer any questions.
Well, I just have a comment. This thing will work. I just wanted to say thank you from the citizens of Comanche County. We're not used to traffic jams in Comanche County, and I-44 is obviously our main artery coming into the city, and it's been backed up, you know, at times half a mile or so. And we appreciate the good folks at ODOT working hard to get this bridge back in operation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner, because that's point well taken. Anytime we can see something and affect it as quickly as possible, we want to get out there and make the repairs, get things, because we don't like traffic jams in Lawton, Oklahoma.
I believe it's repaired as of today, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, or should be.
should be.
Who's got the answer out there?
Jay Earp does.
Yeah, there he is. Is it done or gonna be done? There you go, Commissioner.
Hopefully by the time I get out of here.
With any luck at all.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Right down from my house in Woodward, I have a bridge that's under repair too. Could you?
I think given the environment you asked the question, we will certainly get on it, Commissioner, yes.
Thank you for that report on
Thank
the
you.
2 emergency contracts. And you didn't mention, but I believe the lower bid we got was in excess of $200,000 on the other emergency project.
Yeah, the first emergency, originally it was in excess of 750, and now it's at 541.
Yeah.
So we did lower it by more than $200,000.
Yes.
Commissioners, the other thing I want to visit with you about for just a moment, I want to remind you that this Friday will be the exhaustion of the continuing resolution at the federal level. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that Congress will and the President will take up the next action. Obviously, we would hope for the rest of the year to be available to us after legislation this week, but I'm really anticipating yet another continuing resolution. So what does that mean to us? That means that it's going to slow down some of our construction program because we don't have the federal funds necessary to go ahead and authorize out into the future so that we can get them on the bid letting. So for whatever matter of time that Congress deems this time, we will adjust accordingly. You will recall, and Commissioner Peterson, you won't recall, but this time last year we were dealing with 10, 20-day continuing resolutions as we marched along until the spring when we finally got the rest of the money. So we adapt to it, but it does have an impact on our letting schedule going forward. Russell Hewlin came up and thank you for approving the transfer of money from highway program to transit. What we find ourselves in is something that we've known about for a year and a half or 2 years, but we're excited about the streetcar coming to Oklahoma City, but never did we imagine it with that announcement that ODOT was going to be so intimately involved in the program as we are. Congress and the Federal Transit Administration have identified the DOTs all across this country as the ones that will provide safety oversight for any fixed guideways or streetcar here in Oklahoma City. So our transit division is working very closely and has been for the last several months, but is working very closely with the city of Oklahoma City as we get ever closer to the December 14th opening to make sure that all of the regulations and the guidelines given to us by the Federal Transit Administration are in place at the time of opening. So I'm excited about it. I have tried to get a free ticket on the streetcar, but none is available, so I'm gonna buy my ticket, I'm gonna ride it. Looking forward to it. But I wanted you all to make sure that you understood that we do have a role in the streetcar that's coming up, like we do a lot of transit operations in the state. But this is new to us. We have a great consultant on staff with us, Dovetail. They've done many of these across the country. So we're going to work alongside Oklahoma City to get this completed. This last Tuesday, you may have seen in the press, Energize Safety Coalition. It's really a grouping, a collaboration of the energy companies along with the Department of Public Safety and the Department of Transportation. If you look in Kingfisher and Blaine County, which is the first target, there's so much more traffic on State Highway 33 and different kinds of traffic. It used to be farm trucks and automobiles and pickups, but now there's significantly more energy traffic, 18-wheelers, semis. So State Highway 33 has undergone a significant change in dynamics. So with the Energize Safety Coalition, we have joined in with the energy companies, and now we have a communication ongoing about where they might be doing, where they might be going along this route so that we can hopefully be a little more proactive about providing safe, effective, efficient transportation. Including in this particular coalition is US 81, north and south of Kingfisher. But clearly, State Highway 33 is the primary emphasis. So you're going to see more signage, you're going to see more enforcement, and you're going to see more education. The coalition has already met with high schools, civic organizations, the career techs, to talk about how to address this different kind of traffic, to realize that 18-wheeler is not going to stop on the dime. There's also more emphasis on the part of the energy companies to brief their crews on daily safety announcements and meetings. And so it's ongoing. When you look at that safety corridor, the fatality rate is significantly higher than it is the average in the state of Oklahoma. So I'm very proud for the Department of Transportation to be involved in this effort to bring safety to that corridor. And looking forward, we know that there are other parts of the state, south of Chickasha along State Highway 19, the Safety Coalition is going to begin looking at things we can do down there as well. And then last, you approved the next contract on the I-235 corridor that we have been working on for decades. It is not the last contract. There's a little small contract yet to be executed in that same interchange, but the interchange is the last piece, the crown jewel to this whole effort. We've talked about how much we appreciated the patience of the traveling public for our most recent I-235 project, where you saw the innovation of moving bridges into place so that we didn't impact the traffic for any more than we had to. But this next step, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for all of us. So we're going to talk about work zone safety. We have to. There's going to be a lot of people from Allen Contracting out there working every day. And it's going to affect 2 interstate highways, 200,000 vehicles a day. So it is imperative that the public give us that same attention that they gave us in this last project to this one, if not more so. But it is something that we've been working on. I talked about it at the last commission meeting. The governor that cut the ribbon on the first I-235 project was Governor Bellman. So we have been matriculating up this highway, trying to get it finished for a long time. And we want to get this finished so badly. And I'm proud for the department to have this opportunity to get it done. We have a good contractor on board. I think we'll be successful. But again, please be safe out there. Please pay attention. When you go through in the morning, it likely will look different at night because it's going to be fast moving. Even with that, it's going to take 785 days to complete. It's long and drawn out, but that's what happens when you remodel the kitchen, then you still cook in it. Then we got 200,000 visitors a day in our kitchen, and we're trying to get it remodeled. Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
On that project, I think it's important to point out that there's 4 grade separations. I think the highest is less than 80 feet in elevation, and will never be less than 2 lanes going either way.
That's correct.
And that little small $20 million estimated project is to connect Lincoln to the Broadway extension without having to get on I-44.
That's correct.
So that's a very significant improvement that we all look forward to. And all we ask out of Mr. Allen is that he have the same success on this project as he's had on the last one, and that it goes as smoothly and earlier so we get fewer closings. I think we've got 4 planned. Is that correct? 4 weekend closings planned?
Yes, sir, there's 4 on 235 planned.
Yeah.
There's also closings on 44.
And we just asked that he cut those in half. And
No problem.
no, but we are excited about those projects, and don't you get a ticket going through there.
I will not get a ticket. No one wants to get behind the director in a work zone. It takes forever to get through it.
Are there any questions about this significant project from the commissioners? I know you've all been briefed and know a lot about it, but has anything come up that anybody would like to know? Any other comments from the commission while we have the secretary here today?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you guys for the great work, and you've heard the director's report. If there's nothing else to come before the commission, then we'll hear a motion to adjourn.
I have one item, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind.
Certainly.
There was a little game played not too long ago, and I just want to put my prop out here. I want to congratulate OSU and the great season that they've had this year. There you go. But things couldn't be sweeter in the Sooner Nation. We have beat both orange teams, and now for the next year, we will proudly display this item out in front of the ODOT building, and there's always next year, okay? There's always next year. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The only thing I would add to that is Secretary Ridley started this proud tradition, but I noticed he didn't end it by helping us put this final ball on here. So I think it's only proper that even though he's not an employee of the state anymore, that he get to place the ball on the pole. And I don't know, Mike, you might have to hold his arms up because I don't think they're going to go up there. No, it's been great, and like I said, we have two great universities, and they work together on all kinds of things all the time, and I know they'll continue to do that, and we need a motion to adjourn before this gets way too sappy.
So moved.
We got a motion and a second and vote, and everybody have a great holiday season.